Hey everyone. Yeah, I think we have just 32 minutes and 45 seconds, so let's kick off, Ēvald. Is the thing going out of the box and gonna kill us all?
Do you like going to the zoo?
Zoo, yes, yes.
Do you like going to zoo?
Yeah.
Do you think the zoo animals enjoy living in zoo?
That's a tricky answer there.
Well, maybe not in Riga Zoo, but maybe in some better zoos.
So you think
Riga Zoo is also good, I'm not saying that. But
so that's your approach to the model, like it's in the cage, but
I would say not the model, I would say us.
We are in the cage.
So like imagine like if it actually goes out of the box, then what tells us that we are that it will not put us in the zoo, you know?
Okay. But on a serious note, so we have seen that it can do a lot of things, and some people get really scared, and some people are like, yeah, this is just like, the magic is here, the future is bright, and some others are like, this is like really a risk. What's your take on it?
Okay, I'm hopefully not afraid. So how many of you are afraid of ChatGPT and language models and AI? Okay, some people. Not
and how many of you see that that's like a super trooper future bright everything? And the rest are in the computers, so that's...
Okay, that's very interesting actually.
The rest are just writing their essays. And
how many of you are making money off ChatGPT now? Okay, there are some people already. Okay, so but you're lucky ones. You're using this like, you know, always when there's a change of industries and things, there is this golden moment where you can make money, and then everybody is doing it and you cannot make money, so good for you.
Yes. So can we tame it in the cage, or it will tame us in the cage?
I have heard that they want to make some kind of monitors that hold the electricity cable, so when it starts programming itself,
just unplug the thing.
There is one administrator sitting in data center and waiting to pull the plug. But for a serious note, this reason why we are talking about this, because all of you know how tried the ChatGPT, right? So the ChatGPT is just the tip of the iceberg, the actual language models, the capabilities of everything, right? This is like huge amount of possibilities below the sea. And you can imagine that you can even ask it to write code. So imagine if it writes the code itself and then generates the next version, which is better, next version, which is better. And
yeah, but that's AutoGPT. It's there. That's what you do. AutoGPT, you just say, I wanna solve this kind of stuff, and then it does the debugging, and then
does it generate itself?
No, but it's a loop. So you get a feedback loop, and you.
So somebody should sit there with the cable.
Yeah, sit with a. But that's the big question. It's the alignment problem, because it's just you ask the question and you receive the answer, and then someone figures out, yeah, if I'm getting the answer, then I should actually put automatically to use, get some feedback loop, and then it optimizes itself. That's where we now are with the agents, and so now the alignment problem arises.
Again, the alignment problem, maybe explain a little bit. What do you mean by alignment problem?
So basically, alignment is that we are on the same page, which is direction. And the analogy...
So you say the ChatGPT, these language models, please eliminate spam, and then it figures out that...
the problem is human.
Yeah, let's eliminate humans.
The interesting example I like, actually from some 5-6 years ago, was the first picture neural networks was when you ask the model, what do you understand by dumbbell? You know, dumbbells, the thing which you like weight lifts. And you ask, what do you understand by dumbbell? And it returns dumbbell in a human hand up here. That's the dumbbell according to the model. Now imagine if there's a robot and you ask the robot, bring me the dumbbell. It will just like, yeah, the dumbbell is this thing. I will just take it and bring it to you. So
there's
garbage in, garbage out.
There's also the other term, embodiment problem. So not only understand the language, but understand the world, understand the other things around it. By the way, I don't know like how many of you have thought about this, but it's like I think it's taken by surprise the research community how much the consciousness is related with the language. Each of us have. Hopefully, there's no people who don't have. But actually, like it's hard to tell. Like each of us has the inner dialogue, right? You're talking with yourself. Have not thought about it. Maybe somebody doesn't have it, but anyway, so I should have in all of the people, right? So and you can imagine that with these models, you could do this, and it's kind of like almost emulating consciousness, and it's like at which point it is a consciousness and which point it is not. So
I liked the chief scientist's explanation from OpenAI, Ilya. And he said, yeah, essentially Transformers architecture is predicting the next word, because that's what it does. If you look ChatGPT, you think, wow, that's a cute animation if it's like writing stuff, but actually that's the way how Transformers architecture works. But then he said really good phrase, and he said, it actually takes quite a lot of understanding about the world and everything to figure out that one next word.
Yeah. It's super important now. Like I mean, maybe if you want some new things to work on, right? I have seen in the last weeks. Maybe you also seen vector database startups raising tens of millions, right? It's just the same old thing. It's just that you encode all of the information in this vector space, like this kind of fingerprint for information, and then you find, okay, this is what I need. Put it together, ask to the language model. So it's kind of the next generation of the AI assistants, right? It's completely different from this old paradigm, right?
It is. It's totally new paradigm. About the vector space, how many of you are the machine learning people there?
Okay, there's one.
Not that many.
Okay.
So the vector space, it's where the information is like projected there, and so you have concepts and relative distance where they are.
Distance between things.
Yeah, and so the interesting example with the Transformers library, the Transformers architecture, is that you can project dad, and then you can project mom. But in this context, in this vector space, not dad, the architectural will know that not dad is closer to the mom than the dad.
Yeah,
so
there's like the words, the visual information, the audio information, all data sensors. So if you are not familiar with this, will be the thing. It's already the thing. So that the data is now stored not as like just only the data points in the database, but as in this fingerprint information for these language models. And then you can interact with them and just ask, like, what in my sales pipeline is the problem? And then it gives you the reference. Yeah, this thing, and this is why, and this is that.
So, in itself, the large language models architecture is really simple, and a lot of these examples was surprised for the researchers themselves. When you feed in super large data sets, you realize that you can actually ask a lot of information. So, back to the topic, if it understands so much, and there have been these cases where, yeah, this is the instruction how to get out of the box, and help me, human.
Yeah, I think all of us want to have this Rosie the robot that can, even this morning, I have 3 kids, and my wife was not very happy that they throw toys all around, right? So, right now, if we program the robot to collect toys in the right positions, like with the methods that were 2 years ago, right, and comparing today, it's like day and night. Today, they would be built using language models, which is nobody thought that would happen. The actual Google experiments where there is robots that that go around office, takes the items, bring me the Coke can of Coke, right? It goes, brings you, and it's all decisions based on language models.
Language models.
Yeah.
So that's the paradigm shift, that it's
That's
not
big.
about...
Like we are programming computers not with programming language, but with natural language.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
It is. And I think that's, like, how many of you are developers over here? So SQLing around and blah, blah, blah. And now
But again, like it's not, so even in physical and computer world, right? We need to keep remembering that these language models are machine learning models. They're based on data. It means that if you have situations that he never ever seen in dataset, which is very rare but very problematic. Like, for example, in computer programmers, I have one system for analytical chemistry. For our, we work with research. There is some Ukrainian guys made the program code in Pascal. There is another guy who made program code in like C#, the Node.js, everything goes together. Like everything is not documented. Variable names in Russian, and Ukrainian, and so on. So these language model type of agents, I think there will be quite a long time. Will they be able to understand it as well as a human being in that situation? Or, for example, other physical example, I also like to do some DIY. So I have actually, this is a side story. I bought like big American truck and I fixed it myself from America. So and then the last experiment, what I did, I had to unscrew some of the exhaust pipes, and inside there, it was not possible to do with normal instruments. And I figured out how to do it with wrong instrument. I was thinking in myself, like, does the language models or these AI models could figure out that you can use completely something in the wrong way to achieve the task? Might be, but it's again quite a jump. So there is things which are not as easy.
Well, actually, there are if you will ask directly how to get off the exhaust, it might answer you just like, yeah, do this.
Yeah,
but if you go the meta level, what are the ways how I could remove this exhaust? It might come back with several scenarios. Well,
so imagine it tries, it doesn't work. It tries with that, doesn't work. Tries that.
But that's where we go from interacting simply as human to machine to more of an agent way. I have to get rid of the exhaust.
Again, just a quick go one step further. So again, before large language models, ChatGPT, like average programmer number, like from 1 to 10, 4, right? Like or 5, maybe somebody's better, right? So average content maker 5, right? The average everything 5. Now, what is average?
5, 6. There are a lot of professions where there's.
It is. I think it's now like with these language models, not 4, 5, but like 6, 8. And now this becomes a question: how to get in this workplace the best guy in that field, right? So you want to be like programmer that is competitive in 2 years, you need to use those tools, and you need to be so excellent to be from that like 7 level to like 8.
Exactly.
It will be extremely hard. It will be expensive. So like I think this kind of brief moment where you can make money from this, soon everybody, we have the smartphones, right? So everybody is buying new smartphone every 2 years. So imagine everybody is just paying for these language models. It just makes an expense.
This morning I read already about the GPT-J something in USB stick. So the pocket size model is coming. But back to that 5, 7 and competing part, there's and how people are making money. I don't recall with whom we spoke, but basically now we are about to witness the flood of information, because everyone is like, you know what? I have great idea for our SEO strategy. We're going to deploy ChatGPT to create unique
Everybody
content.
has the same idea.
Yeah, and people who are like in cold emailing, you know what? I have this great idea. We can use ChatGPT to personalize emails. Every email is unique.
Spam.
And so we are about to be hit by the the tsunami of the content, unique content, but still tsunami. But afterwards, actually, what's the point of SEO strategy if you don't
Everybody
need,
is doing the same.
you don't, what's the point of SEO strategy is that people are going and searching for stuff, ending up in one page, the second page, and the ranking matters, and then you make up your mind. But now new reality is that you just ask ChatGPT, what's the answer, rather than going searching, making up your mind, you just ask. So, and we are coming back to the agent, and you're having more of a sidekick.
Keep that thought in mind. Don't forget it. So just the.
As a human, I will.
Yeah.
Try.
So I know maybe there's some investors here. So I've been in this research field since beginning. Since the last AI winter. So the thing is, there's a lot of startups who are using the knowledge gap in investors and in the general, basically two examples. One, any startup saying that they will be able to classify fake content from the real content, that's a bad investment, in my opinion. So, and then the other thing is like content-related startups in general, very dangerous, because I know personally at least 2 startups that were very successful about a year and a half ago, and now they're almost out of revenue and business.
Yeah. We spoke with my colleague, so I have several hats. I'm also a venture partner at Superhero Capital, and we spoke that the software market now is a bit of a minefield because you do something and then there's the language model version coming out and it's just like wiped out. That's it. I actually have come across some videos where people are simply saying, my career in this profession has ended.
I know one guy who was running a successful this kind of company, and then he thought, okay, let's move in 3D printing and things like that. He got tired of all of the AI and software. Let's do some physical.
So back to so what we see is that everything is going to some sort of agent-driven environment.
Sure.
Where now we are used to there's ChatGPT, but in reality, we are about to see more and more agents, things which will assist us. And then how to be on the same page for us with them or for them with us.
You will need to choose wisely your agents. Like, how much do you trust Microsoft, for example?
I remember I'm that old that I remember blue screens. So
yeah.
How many of you remember the blue screens? Huh?
Blue screen of death, BSOD. So they had a blue screen on the presentation.
But then, so I listened to the podcast with Andrei Karpathy, and they were talking with Lex Friedman, and they were talking about the Copilot. How many of you are using Copilot?
Those programmers who are not using Copilot immediately download it, or Tab 9, but otherwise, you're out of business.
So it was interesting that they spoke about that it will become that there are a bunch of agents checking different parts. Like if you're writing code where there's SQL thing, there's agent which checks that, then there's something else. And then Lex Friedman asked, okay, but who is checking on the agents? It's an agent. There's an agent which checks that everything goes together. And it's agent all the way down.
There's so many levels of these agents. So the first level, what kind of data goes into the language model? Who decides on what we put in? If we put in Wikipedia, it automatically makes it left-wing agent because the Wikipedia editors are mostly left-wingers. So if I put it some other content, it goes another direction. Then the next layer, who is doing the fine-tuning for the answers, right? And what is the purpose of it? So I think in near future, and already cat is out of the box. So for example, this was funny story. You remember how Facebook leaked the llama weights? Do you know?
That was the case.
So there is one large language model available in torrents and Pirate Bay and so on. But so you decide of what you want to do, but basically the idea is that some guy in Meta, Facebook, pushed in Git the link where you can download it, and then everybody download it, and then later they fixed it.
The cat is out. I'm actually looking forward to Flat GPT. You know what is Flat GPT? You don't know. It's the Flat Earthers GPT.
There will be.
You can ask, like, what is the moon? And it will just say the answer. And it will be really straightforward. What are how GPS works, and what is the horizon thing?
Very, very
where's
true.
the edge? And can I do a backflip on the edge? And so.
Yeah, that is maybe a business model. You know, you offer different kind of these agents for different perspectives, right? And for use cases, that's good direction.
What I'm afraid is that, of course,
but
the
again,
humans are going
let's
to be...
just sorry for just one step, because I just yesterday talked with some people, which I did not realize actually. So if you try the ChatGPT and you go and ask for historical facts, and maybe historical facts about things you know personally, right? It will answer you, free version will answer you all sorts of nonsense, right? And you check it and it doesn't work, and you think, oh, this is not working, right? This is not the way how this works.
Yeah, that's that's
you
why.
Want to explain?
Actually, it's the point why you should understand how it works. Because if you ask who is Ernests Štāls, it will say I don't have an opinion about the person, so I cannot tell. But then, if I ask, tell me more about Ernests Štāls, well, that's a totally different story, because that's a Marxist anarchist philosopher from 18-something. He has written this stuff and that stuff, and that's just big bullshit.
Well, but didn't know things about you. So but again, so this is what the people think it's happening, but it's actually happening.
So here's my worry is, of course, not about the technology, but about the humans. So the big promise of the internet is that internet is super awesome. Humanity will have access to all the information, and then we will be next level humans, because we will align the knowledge and sharing and everything. Guess what happens? You go on internet, you type in flat earth, you find 200 nutheads, and I'm not alone. The rest of the world is fake, and so we unite.
The birds are not real.
And birds are not real. And so I'm afraid that we could go with this in a similar direction.
But again, I just want to stress out, you give a good example about your communist history. But the thing is that this is not how it works. So if you want to try how it works, you go to the Bing AI or the Perplexity AI or other agents. So already we are at the moment where if you give factual information as those fingerprints, you get very precise, very good information. So it's not anymore the case where it like invents things about you. It actually could give very good information about that.
So decoupling the information source, that it's not in the model, but basically the model makes yeah, exactly, it makes its representation on the document. That's the one.
That is the main thing. That's why they are raising millions on vector basis.
Yeah.
This is kind of like also not perfect, but this is working great. So I mean, like that right now you can build chatbots that will answer you exactly as you want. They will not invent things. They will give you very precise information about Ernests Štāls and things like that. And this is everything working right now. Yeah. It's just that you don't need to understand how to use those tools. If you just go into ChatGPT, of course you get wrong.
So that's where you have an agent. I actually this year have experienced a couple of calls where we have like a call and then there's the agent listening. But then
this is my pitch patterns agent.
But we were having fun that afterwards you ask the agent, give me back the summary of this call, and it gives, because it knows you,
sure.
It gives back like, yeah, he was talking about this, and this probably was huge bullshit. And you wouldn't like this part, but let's keep it here. Over here, you were off rail. This was like, you were so bad. And it seems that it's so real. It's actually really possible.
Sure, it is. It is. But again, Yeah, so just advertisement. I have pitchpatterns.com that does this thing for sales teams, if you're interested. Anyway, you're talking about the effects on the society. So the effects on the society, one of the things always, technology makes our lives faster, right? So I think this thing, again, this is like a new level. We were going like very slow, then like internet, then the mobile phones, we go faster, faster, faster. Now the chat GPT type of language model agents, we go even faster, but just so
what's scary about this part, now, one side is we will become more and more efficient, but another one is that who are the ones who become really efficient? Those are the people who are the first to the game. So what happens is that those who move fast, they move even faster, but then there are people who are literally looking at the planes in the sky, and it's really weird.
There is a really interesting situation. So I was thinking about this. So how many of you have tried using the Upwork and Fiverr and things like that? So you know, this is freelancer sites. We were using these sites very intensively to label data. We cannot use it anymore. We cannot, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know who is on the other end.
Because all of them, they are just dropping into AI models and feeding me back the things which are with the 70% accuracy. So this is like, again, I was thinking like, okay, so if we cannot use anymore these sites, then I was thinking, let's make maybe social business where I can give this to the retired people.
So that brings to, again, to the, well, it's garbage in, garbage out. But
it converges.
Yeah.
So everybody, like, it will be just the same bad stuff, you know?
It converges to shit.
Yeah, like if everybody is using the model, not the brain, it just converges to the average of the model.
Yeah, that's also what I have been thinking, that is it going to, that's one of the things what people are afraid, is this going to kill creativity and
again the 5 to 7, 7 to 10.
Yeah.
So those guys who are great at their creativity, they will need to be so much greater, and basically we will need to pay them way more. So we will need to pay for the models plus their extra effort. So it's like, I think it will be very expensive.
So there's two analogies, and the third one is a bit funny, but the two are clothes and furniture 100 years ago. If you want to, like, furniture and clothes, you go and you look for someone who can make it. It's shabby, but someone makes that, and then you have IKEA, H&M, and manufacturing, and now those people are the people who are if you need your custom stuff, that costs a lot. And the third funny one is, it used to be that in every village or whatever place, there was someone who was playing music at funerals, weddings, whatever event there was, go-to person, sometimes drunk, sometimes, and then the music box came, and then it's like, it's better than you, so you're out of business.
As well,
it's cheaper, it's just and delivers the quality. So
and it's become cheaper there, but then when you want to have something
exactly, then you pay a lot. And I guess that's the point that we are now experienced with the democratization of that simple job in the information field. The 5-6ers are gone. Now it's just like, if you want a quick function, or you want a quick SEO strategy, or
blog posts. But again, the social media, it's already happened. You already saw that in Twitter. You need to pay for the checkmark. Now they have the pay for the content, the subscription already in the Twitter right now. So basically, I believe all of the communication become paywalled. So basically, imagine that you cannot. There's no way they can filter out these language models versus humans, and there's a flood of information. So basically, the only way is money.
So back to the original question, how we can solve. So we have agents, and of course there are things where we as humans we are not the ones who can look at all the information, but how to pass the knowledge and have the alignment with the agents that we are going in the same direction.
And you choose the agent.
You choose, yeah, but how you choose the agent.
Yeah, who you trust. Trust is very important.
So trust will be really
It is
huge.
already important. It will be more important. Yeah. Like, would you trust some kind of Chinese ChatGPT?
Yeah.
But by the way, there's lots of people who do trust.
I actually, one of my favorite is the Baidu Ernie GPT. So
there's more sinister things. You know, we know some social media which are aligned with China, used for programming. So, by the way, just a quick note when we have time. So, again, business opportunity, which I already see they are starting to do. You ask these language models, agents, some things, and they give you advice. You need to buy this or that, right?
There was the guy, $100. I actually haven't followed, but there was the guy, he said the model that I have $100. How should we go about it? And the interesting paradigm, what happens is that in a way, we used to deploy the machine to solve stuff, but now you ask the agent how we can do stuff, and it gives you back, and you become hands for the machine.
It's even more than that. So forget about Google AdWords and things like that. Like you will have something like similar like that in the agents, right? You pay money to agents to give you convincing way to buy stuff, you know.
Yeah.
That's already happening, by the way. I already have seen it. You can check it.
Is it possible that you become kind of slave to the machine, the agent?
Yeah.
You will be better off if you will do this, and you're like, yes, master.
You're right, and you believe that it says that if you buy this, you will happen that, and actually there's in the background guy paying them or paying ad. Basically, it will be more expensive. You will need to pay the ads inside the models, right? So this is already happening. This is nothing new, and people investing in the search engine optimizations, I think, already passed the train. So
yeah. How many of you have seen movie Her? If you haven't seen, go and watch it.
Yes.
I wouldn't spoil the end. Recently, I did a podcast with a person, the AI person at Techstars, and he suggested the old movie with Robin Williams by Sentinelman. Also, who have seen it? Yeah, not that many, but the rest, check it out. Those are where you are actually working with agents. And then there's the Space Odyssey,
right.
which is actually really accurate representation where the Hulk just says, Hull says, well, the mission is important. And you, human, you are in the way of the mission. You are the problem. So to conclude, I think we don't have an answer yet, but it's really powerful tool. Whereas I think you put it nicely that it's about trust. Yeah. And we will have these servants, so to say, servants, with whom we will work, and sometimes we will not be in charge of them, but they will be in charge of us, and we will have to figure out how to work together.
Sure. Happy to talk with you.
Future is bright and scary. All right?
Let's choose what we trust, right?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. AI cowboy.